This episode is brought to you by the world's first reposado from Tequila Herradura. Made with slow-cooked, hand-harvested agave sealed into oak barrels and aged 11 months. Before being enjoyed in your glass. Experience the world's first reposado. Tequila Herradura. Please drink responsibly. Responsibility.org. Tequila Herradura. 40% alcohol by volume. Imported by Brown-Forman, Louisville, Kentucky. Herradura is a registered trademark. Copyright 2025 Brown-Forman Corporation.
This Steve Jones Show podcast is now loading. The Steve Jones Show podcast is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and Brewers Outlet. Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and Brewers Outlet. Now from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Half hour brought to you by Brewers Outlet, Reagan Street in Sunbury, the beverage supermarket. Imports, domestics, microbrews. The best selection of beer anywhere. Wine coolers, water, soft drinks, snacks. They roast their peanuts fresh and hot every day. Six great flavors of slushies. And ready-to-drink cocktails. High Noon, Jack Daniel's Crown Royal. Based on yesterday's performance, your group obviously partook. What? And the pickle bar led by the Barrels and the Dills, indeed second to none. And by the way, Brewers Outlet. Plenty of Brewers Outlet water all over the golf course yesterday. It was great. So there you go.
Had 3 bottles myself.
Oh, I know. It's interesting with the Canadian wildfires, which is creating the what looks like haze up in the mountains. Kind of kept the sun down yesterday.
That was the one plus because it was humid as heck yesterday.
Yeah, it was very humid. Yeah, very, very humid.
It was not large man weather.
I think I ran into somebody yesterday. They asked if you were still on vacation this week. And I said, well, he's off Tuesday. He's off today. I said, but he'll be back Thursday. I said, other things now.
My wife would argue that I'm always on vacation.
Oh. It just doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, the 3 preseason games tonight in the NFL, and Joe Burrow is going to play tonight. You want to know why Joe Burrow is going to play tonight?
I was going to say, aren't they 0-8 in the last 2 Septembers?
Yes, they are. They've only won since he became the starting quarterback. They have only won 41% of their games in the month of September, while they've won 61% of their games after September 30th. So they're going to play at least a couple of series tonight with their starters in Cincinnati. All right. And I think Daniel Jones may be starting tonight for the Colts. They're playing tonight or whenever they're playing. I don't know if it's tonight or not. But yeah, the Colts are playing Baltimore tonight. Really, still to this day, is strange for me to say the Colts are playing Baltimore tonight. And I know it's been 40 years. Cincy has the Eagles tonight, and the Raiders have Seattle. NFL Network has that game. Eagles, Cincinnati locally. NFL Network has Colts and Ravens. Cam Hayward wants a new contract. He's seeking a raise. He has not fully participated in practice yet this summer because he wants a restructured contract. He has 2 years remaining on his contract. And he's already picked up $13.45 million just in roster bonuses so far. Right now, he's the 36th highest paid defensive lineman in the league, 18 among defensive tackles. He's 36 years old. He made the Pro Bowl last year. Last time a defensive lineman who was 35 or older made the Pro Bowl was Bruce Smith. So there you go. Even the pillar of that defense not happy with the payments. If you recall, the 1983 NC State men's basketball team sued the NCAA because they want money. Okay. For more than 40 years, the NCAA and its co-conspirators have systematically and intentionally misappropriated the Cardiac Pac's publicity rights, including their names, images, and likenesses associated with that game and the win over Houston, and the game winner, reaping scores of millions of dollars from the Cardiac Pac's legendary victory, the lawsuit said. Today, the lawsuit got tossed. The NCAA requested the case be dismissed after a similar lawsuit filed by a former Kansas player was also dismissed in April.
Wasn't that the guy that hit the shot against Memphis?
Yeah.
I feel like in general the idea sounds right to me, but I think you waited a little too long at this point.
Well, what's interesting is that Lorenzo Charles, who missed the shot, and then Derek Wittenberg, who grabbed it and scored, happened to be two guys that were not a part of the lawsuit.
I'm guessing they were the two that have made a little money off of that picture.
Maybe, but I'm just saying. But the other 12 players haven't. I think, I'm trying to think of, I mean, I've seen Terry Gannon a couple of times, but I never brought it up. I talked about other things with him. But, I mean, talk about a successful TV career. Terry Gannon's been really good. Really, really good. So, we are at that ranking stage now. We mentioned with Brett the rankings. And let's see. ESPN did its tiers. 1A was Ohio State, Texas. 1B, Georgia, Oregon, Penn State. Tier 2, Alabama, Clemson, Miami, Michigan, Notre Dame, LSU. Tier 3, Florida, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas A&M. Tier 4, Arizona State, Boise State, Indiana, SMU. Tier 5, Illinois, Louisville, Texas Tech, Utah, where they're hot now. Yeah. I always love these tier things. Like, there's so many things. Let me ask you something. What interests you today that did not interest you in reading before? And what did you used to be really interested in that you now think is garbage and no longer read it?
I think we overdo lists.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that. I hate lists.
I used to like them a little more than I did, but I think they're overdone now. I think most people know this, but I don't think there's enough good long form storytelling anymore. Not by far.
It's one of the reasons why I still subscribe to The Athletic, even though I didn't like that they X'd out Audrey Snyder.
That whole decision-making process with some of the college football, it was strange the whole offseason.
Oh, I know that. it has to do with, in other words, to me, that's a hit to Penn State coverage when you do that. I mean, that's what's a hit to. But there's so many things that just don't interest me anymore.
I mean, I think that's the biggest thing I miss with SI Sports Illustrated going away from what it once was a good long form cover story on an athlete, one I know and one I don't know.
Yeah.
The Olympic preview magazine isn't what it once was either.
No, you know what I always look forward to all the time? Sporting News would put out its preseason and look at every team. Same thing with the preseason preview for Sports Illustrated. And then it would get to bowl season. They'd preview every bowl game. I'd read that thing cover to cover. And it's just... I mean, they took that stuff away. I mean, I'd still be reading it today. Because I'd be wanting to get thumbnails on games and so forth. And everything's about hot takes and clicks. Yeah.
I'd love to write a 4-page game story like they used to once in a while.
Yeah. I've talked to. Go ahead.
I was going to say sideways into spend 8-9 paragraphs on the offensive lineman's family in the middle of a game story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the game story part. Dick Girardi's covered so many big games in his career, and he will talk to me about. Yeah, we're out there and so I'm writing the game story. I got it just about done, and then somebody hits a shot. It's like, okay. And somebody hit a shot.
Even 15 years ago, that used to be my job at the Little League World Series in the night game, so AP could get it on the wire quick enough, was be the quote collector for the guy covering the game down in the thing, so he didn't have to come down. And now they don't even bother sending quotes in Major League Baseball stories anymore, if they do even staff them.
Yeah.
It's 5 paragraphs on what happened, a key play, and then who's pitching tomorrow.
That's right. Who's pitching tomorrow?
Up next. And it is weird to me because I don't know how people develop the skills that you need to do this job by doing such, I don't want to say little work, because I'm sure they do more if they were asked to, but that's all that's all all the AP wants. And let's be honest, I'm still work for one of the newspapers that has a deadline where you can get the 7:00 baseball games in anymore too. I mean, most places, if you don't have your own printer, your deadline's 5, 6, 8 o'clock now.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Right.
So I just, this is one of those things we talk about this industry. I don't know, you don't know how to monetize some of this stuff, and it's costing us, but I think some of our, concessions to what we think people want has also cost us as well.
What kind of reaction do you get from people about what you have in and what you don't have in the paper?
Not a lot recently. When we stopped our Saturday at the beginning of the year, people were quite upset about waiting until Tuesday for some stuff and repeating stuff sometimes. But I don't know. I don't know what it's like now. I think it's going to be quite interesting because I don't think there's a newspaper in this immediate area here around Sunbury Broadcasting. Maybe Bloomsburg still does, but there will not be next day coverage of Penn State football around here this year.
Wow.
Period.
Wow.
Look how good Susquehanna was. It will be online.
Susquehanna was really good last year.
It will be online on Sunday. We're going to cover the games on Saturday, but that's that's the biggest complaint I get is, unfortunately, the newspaper readers are an older bunch, and they're not real set on going onto the internet to check some of this stuff out, which is something else that we have to solve.
Right. Yeah. Well, because I was always the type that loved. I always enjoyed just taking out a newspaper and just enjoying the newspaper. You know? Yeah, I could pick and choose what I wanted to read. And then what would happen is, after you're done reading, you could put it down, come back, pick it up later. I always enjoyed that. You can't do that anymore.
Every Sunday morning, used to run down and get the Patriot and the Reading Eagle on a Sunday, and I'm not sure either of them circulate up this far anymore either. I'm pretty sure the Patriot doesn't even print on a Sunday anymore.
Boy. Yeah. Yeah, and that's, unfortunately, it's the way it is.
We'll tell Rich the next time he's on. I've been reading him since I was a little kid.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah. Good news, Rich. Well, I've had players come up to me and say that, "Oh, Mr. Jones, I listened to you when I was a little kid." Well, I guess I've been here a while. But yeah, I think, in the new world media, we've all had to adapt. And so that part, I do understand that. We've all had to adapt in the new world of media. There's no getting around it. But to me, it doesn't mean everything has to go away, right? Maybe
I've always felt like this, but it's getting further and further away. But I always thought somebody would actually figure it out. And I, when the Athletics started, I thought maybe that was the way. But the original Athletic did not last very long.
The Athletic
the Athletic didn't last long. The original version of the Athletic that the guy created 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, that.
And
okay.
now we're to this New York Times version where it's more.
I thought you were talking about Frank DeFord.
No, the National.
Sorry.
No,
the
not
National. Yeah.
But it's not what it was 3 or 4 years ago. There's more. The New York Times influence is there, that's basically the New York Times sports section now.
Yeah.
Like the big Sunday feature in the New York Times sports is written by somebody from the Athletic now.
Yeah.
So I do feel like somebody will figure it out, and we talked about this before with, the worst thing that happened was those hedge funds getting involved in stuff because they just. They look straight at profit margins, and journalism is not a profit margin business. You can make money, but if your idea is to, make more money each and every year, I just don't think that's possible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And that's when these colleges are talking to these hedge fund guys, that's the scariest part about it. It's not. They're not going to get mad. They're going to get mad if you're not making a profit, and they're also going to get angry if the profit is not what they feel it should be.
Right.
The first thing to go when they bought the newspapers was the buildings the newspapers were in.
Right.
I don't think the Allentown paper. I don't think they have an office. I think everybody works out of their house.
Right. Now you have an office to go into, right?
Yeah, we still have we actually own our building.
Okay.
So we don't use all 3 floors anymore, but we still have an office.
Okay.
But we still print our own paper too. We still have a printing press in another part of town.
Right.
Like the Williamsport paper, I believe, goes to Altoona. The Shamokin paper goes to Shamokin's owned by Towanda, the Towanda News, whoever owns the Towanda newspaper, and the Towanda newspaper has their own printing press. The Shamokin paper is printed in Towanda.
Where are you right now in your high school previews?
That's why I was off all week. We are done. Football-wise, at least.
Okay.
We were actually done. We were supposed to be done last Friday, and we were done last Thursday. So, knock on wood, it's the best it's ever gone.
What are you happy about that you're putting out, and what are you a little like? I wish I got more on.
I'm not sure if I had had the room. I would have liked to do a little more. Not sure what the cover's going to be. They were going by art when they got the art back. But there's a kid at Lime Mountain that has a shot at 100 career sacks going into his senior year, and then Schick has a new football coach. And I went down to talk to him, and he mentioned some things about Coach Purnell, and I was kind of hoping to talk to Coach Purnell, but kind of ran out of time. But other than that, I think it went. I do think it went really well.
Oh, good. That's great. No, it's people love it. I mean, we'll do our first high school roundtable with our announcers on 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Oh man, yeah.
2 weeks from today, we'll do that. So.
Hey, Matt got a hold of me today to come on to the TV show and do the football preview, and my summer of leisure is coming to an end.
Yeah, well, it's okay. You want to know my schedule?
Well, I was just going to say, and then we're going to turn around and we're going to be talking about books for Christmas in what'll seem like 2 weeks.
I know. Yeah, so I mean, today I was interviewed about the 69 team. Tomorrow I have to do an interview about Penn State for Roar Plus. Saturday I have to do one for Pittsburgh. I'm supposed to do something on TV next week about Linebacker U. Somebody's doing a TV project. They just don't have a date yet. Thursday, I do the breakfast at the Blair County Chamber of Commerce and talk to that group. That's a breakfast. Then eventually I go to Pittsburgh and the Duquesne Club with Jack, which is now at Chartiers Country Club. So, yeah.
Who's the 1969 thing for?
Somebody by the name of Pat Faribaugh is putting something together, but he's still in the infant stages of this.
Okay.
He has talked to, for example, he's talked to several former players. I mean, including, he told me he talked to Steve Smear. And Smear's one of the greatest guys. I've got to know so many great guys through Jack. It's unbelievable.
Well, I just mentioned it because Neil Smith lives in Selinsgrove.
Oh, yeah, I know. Neil Smith is a great player on that team. What, did he pick off 10 passes?
Yes.
I mean, that's still tied for the Penn State single-season record with, he set it, and then Pete Harris tied him. Yeah, but that's what it was about. Now, how you can tell he's still in the infancy of this? I just don't. He's still in the infancy of it. But, I mean, I was on the phone with him for a half hour today talking about that. Hey, it comes with the territory. Right?
Oh.
It doesn't bother me in the least. I'm just saying, it just comes with the territory. I'd rather have it than be sitting here by myself, and thinking, do I have my tickets?
I mean, at this point, it's just wind us up and watch us go for something like that.
Oh, yeah, no, look, I mean, for the most part, I give the same answers, so what's maybe some variation somewhere.
Matt will ask me 3 questions, I'll fill 10 minutes, and we'll be done.
See, the difference between you and me is you actually listen to his questions.
A lot has changed since 1915 when the Mercury began selling cars here in Central PA at Sunbury Motor.
Are you feeling more fulfilled now that you're back to work?
On August 15th.
No. I need a vacation.
See the movie that critics are saying is an awesome,
Look at that.
crowd-pleasing, fist-pumping, all-out brawl of a film.
You're right about that.
They're coming after our family. Go fix this.
Oh, my.
Nobody 2, rated R, only in theaters August 15th.
Company. But one thing that hasn't changed is the Sunbury Motor Company's commitment to satisfying more customers, selling more cars, and providing you with a tradition of trust. Whether you visit Sunbury Motors Ford, Sunbury Motors Hyundai, or Sunbury Motors Kia, you know you're getting the area's best selection and best prices on both new and pre-owned vehicles. SMC's values of hard work and dedication are as prevalent today as they were over 100 years ago. They take pride in satisfying Central Pennsylvania's automotive needs and providing their customers with the best buying experience possible. Come visit Sunbury Motors Ford and Sunbury Motors Hyundai in the North 4th Street Auto Plaza, Sunbury, or Sunbury Motors Kia on the Strip in Hummel's Wharf. Sunbury Motor Company, owned and operated by the Mertz family since 1915.
Hi, this is Season. For over 100 years, the Purdy Insurance Agency has been protecting families and businesses of the greater Susquehanna Valley and beyond. With the experience of our trained and knowledgeable staff, you can rest assured that your needs will be evaluated and met by some of the industry's best representatives. No matter what your insurance needs are, call Purdy Insurance today at 570-286-5855. Visit our website at purdyinsurance.com or check us out on Facebook to see what we can do for you.
Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Brewers Outlet, Sunbury Motor Company, and Purdy Insurance. Now from the Sunbury Motors Studio, here's Steve Jones.
And this half hour being brought to you by Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15, Hummels Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Ford, Kia, Hyundai, the best in new inventory. I went with Ford. Great pre-owned inventory with the Sunbury Motors guarantee. They go over each vehicle. And a terrific service department. Quick lane, inspections, routine, difficult. This is one stop shopping at Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummels Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. By the way, the Steelers will open with the Jacksonville Jaguars this weekend, Saturday night, and Travis Hunter will play both receiver and corner in the game.
Rob King will also be on the show tomorrow at 1:35.
And Rob King will join us tomorrow at 1:35 to preview the big weekend. Thought that went well.
So did I. I forget, one of the other players said it, and I can't think of who it was, but I'm really interested to see if he can pull this off.
Talk about Hunter?
Yeah.
I think you could pull it off if you are used as a wide receiver and as a slot corner or a nickel corner used on third down and occasionally on second down. Because you can't. I don't think you can do the 100 plays in the pros.
He's doing it in practice. That's my. I don't. Even if he stamina wise, he can do the 100 plays. I don't know how he survives injury wise in the NFL
that's
like
my
that.
point.
Yeah,
that's why I think if he's not a true corner that's out there all the time and is out there in sub packages, I think if he's a sub package corner of some sort, whether it's slot corner or whatever, because you can come out and play corner, the other guy flips in to play the slot. You can do that too, and then plays wide receiver. I think that becomes more workable.
I mean, I guess he did it in the thin air of Boulder, and he was at Jackson State. I just, it's never. I mean, it's not like it's not going to be hot and humid in Jacksonville till early December.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think that you can't do it where he's out there every single down on both sides. See, that's what I don't think you can do that.
And I mean, last year was really the only full year that he was healthy the entire season too.
I mean, now I know it's a different sport, but look, for example, just trying to pitch, that it became a wear and tear issue on Shohei Ohtani. Where now, he has actually spent the vast majority of the time with the Dodgers being just a DH, hasn't even been playing in the field. That's, to me, that's, you have to look at stuff like that. It's a different sport, but still.
I mean, you figure he's got to do 2 workouts a day, every day. Your hitting workout, your pitching stuff. I mean,
yep. And for Hunter in practice, it's flipping from one side of the ball to the other. And so when you're trying to do good on good, you can't have him out there on the other side. You need him on the side you prefer at that moment.
Travis, cover yourself.
He's wide open. Wait. He's a traitor. He turned on us. He was wide open. I threw it to him, and he picked it off. What the heck?
They can do the switch pitcher thing where he can just turn his uniform number.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. I mean, it's something. It's interesting. It's different, right?
Well, I was going to say, I don't think he can do it, but I'll be mightily impressed if he does pull it off.
Yeah, no, so will I. No, I'm not.
Logic to me just states it's going to be pretty darn hard to do.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree it's hard to do. There's no doubt. But again, if you can limit the snaps on one side of the ball where he's not out there, all right. Now I think you have a better chance of making this work. How about that?
I just find it odd in a sport that makes sure, that you don't put Nick Singleton back on every kickoff return or somebody else that's real good at returns, but is also, or Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill doesn't return punts and kicks anymore.
No, he does not.
Or somebody like that where they're so worried about them getting hurt on plays that, they're. Because I feel like Travis Hunter will be, if he's stuck to one, he'd be an all-pro at whatever one he decided to do, and he could be an all-pro at both for all we know.
Yeah, no, he is. Chance to be a great player. So. Yeah. I mean, I thought for Jacksonville to trade up, getting him, I thought it was a great move. I really did.
How often have you said that on this show?
Well, never. It's Jacksonville.
That's true, but.
I agree. I absolutely agree with the pick of Trevor Lawrence, and he's been okay to this point. Hasn't been great, but he's been okay. So, I don't know.
I do often wonder if that's just more of a function of what's been around him at Jacksonville some of the time. Because the year that they were good, he wasn't. Yeah. He was good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, there's no question that's part of this. I mean, who you have around you, especially up front. Yeah. Goodness gracious! I mean, up front, yeah. That's the big issue. If he can be protected and not have to run for his life, yeah, that's really important. Yeah. But so that that Steelers-Jags game has a little more intrigue to it. I don't think there's any intrigue with the Eagles at all. As a defending champion, has anybody had a quieter training camp?
Well, you don't want to have the Cowboys training camp, so.
Yes, but that circus is like that every year.
That's true.
I mean, that's a circus every year. And Dallas creates us. I mean, it's almost like they create it.
I just wonder, Micah better than anybody that's talking right now, but he's always been so sure of himself and so confident that I just don't wonder if he's the one guy that this will alienate.
Repeat that, I'm sorry.
He's so sure and so confident of himself and always has been that I wonder if this isn't the one guy that Jerry won't alienate him now.
We'll see. I don't know. I think at some point, you've got to get him signed, get it taken care of, and have some harmony in your camp. You can't have discord. And Dallas has too much discord all the time. The Eagles have no issues with this. None. Their quarterback's under contract. They re-up Barkley. I mean, they don't have any of this.
I mean, Jeffrey Lurie's not standing at camp talking about his best player like he's his father and not the owner. You know what I mean? That's what Jerry sounds like right now. Sounds like he's disappointed his son didn't listen to him. And one, he's not your son. He's a 24-year-old man.
Yeah.
And I just hear some of the stuff that comes out of Jerry's mouth, and if he was talking about me, I'd be really upset.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
But also, that is also an amount of money that could assuage some things for me as well.
Right. Well, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think one of the issues is Jerry doesn't. I feel like Jerry Jones doesn't see the players as people as sometimes.
I think Jerry Jones likes the thought that everybody wants to hear what he has to say.
Well,
I don't know the man at all. Do not know the man at all.
I can't say anything. That's why I'm here.
But like from 30,000 feet, how often do you ever hear the Rooneys on the radio every week? How often do you hear Jeffrey Lurie on the radio every week? How often do you hear Josh Harris on the radio every week? I mean, I know that Matt would listen just out of pure disgust. But like most owners are not on the radio every week. I think Robert Kraft is on a lot. But, yeah.
And I mean, you're right. It is every year, and I do wonder what his end goal is.
I don't know.
Just because, do they realize they haven't won anything in 30 years?
Yeah. The part of it, yeah. But you look at the Eagles, their camp is so vanilla. I mean that as a compliment. They're just out there as the defending world champions, just getting it done day in and day out, and there's no drama.
Well, I mean, but the rest of the NFC East, what has been the biggest drama? Jalen Daniels' mom said something a little out of pocket a couple days ago. I bet that's about as wild as it gets.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they'll wonder why Dallas ends up being in fourth place in the division.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah.
I mean, I think the Giants. I think people are going to be surprised that the Giants are better. I think we both think that Washington's going to be good and Philly's going to be good. There's not a lot of leeway in that division right now, like there was, like maybe we thought there was at the beginning of last year.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't. Yeah.
I mean, just reading some of the stuff on the Giants, the kind of the different kind of pass rush they're getting between I'm saying the wrong guy, but the Thibodeau, between Thibodeau and Abdul Carter and those guys, and Russell is a step. Say what you will about Russell Wilson, he is a step up from Daniel Jones. Malik Neighbors is really good. Like, there's pieces there. And they're not fighting with their best player.
Right.
No. They went through that last offseason and watch them win an MVP in a Super Bowl.
Other than that.
Other than that.
Look, I spent time in this show last year in the second half of the season questioning whether the biggest problem that they had winning the Super Bowl was their quarterback. I said that. I wasn't right. He ended up being one of the biggest reasons why they won it. Yeah, so. Credit where credit's due.
I was going to say, he gets it done. And that's all that really matters.
Well, but he's also that dual threat.
Yeah.
Who has become more mature as to how he does things, and that just happens with experience in the league. Needs to get out of bounds and not get hit, he goes out of bounds. He needs to slide so he doesn't get hit, he slides. He doesn't take a lot of contact. There's no need for your quarterback to lower his shoulder and belt somebody. All right? You don't need to do that.
We're looking at you, Josh Allen, but still do it.
Right. You don't need to do that. Okay? And so that's the maturity of it. I think when he needs to throw the ball away, he throws the ball away. Having Saquon in the backfield with him, Hurts has been the greatest beneficiary of having Barkley out there because you're now so aware of Barkley. For Barkley, the biggest advantage has not been Hurts, it's been the offensive line. For Hurts, the biggest advantage has been having Barkley because now, to me, I don't care what running backs you had back there. You really couldn't. I didn't sit there going into a game going, oh, the Eagles' running game is a real issue. I thought it was good, but it's gone from being good to being incredible.
I do wonder if you don't, the old don't pay for a running back, if you still don't pay for a running back in the first round, but you get your offensive line and kind of do what the Eagles did and then pick up somebody else that, I don't say Saquon didn't live up to expectations, but I think the Giants thought he was a luxury, and he certainly didn't turn into a luxury for the Eagles. How's that?
I think the Giants looked at him and just said, you know what? It's a running back. We're not going to pay for a running back. We've got to put whatever. Okay? The Giants have been a franchise that's been going nowhere since before Saquon got drafted there. Right?
It's probably since Tom Coughlin retired.
Yeah. That's just the way it is. And it's about where they are.
The Maras have not been the Tish or the Rooneys.
No, but for the most part, Tish and the Maras don't make a lot of headlines.
No,
they don't do that. It's never been their MO. So, but I think when it comes to Barkley, it could not have worked out better for him, and he would not have gained 2,000 yards with the New York Giants last year. Right?
He might not have gained 2,000 yards in these 2 seasons with the Giants.
It would have taken probably 2 years to get there.
Yeah.
I mean, the offensive line for the Eagles is so superior to go with a superior running back talent. You're like, oh, anybody could run behind them. No, the other guys they've had running behind that offensive line have not gained 2,000 yards now, have they? No. And not only that, his value as a pass blocker, his value as a receiver. I mean, it's not just the ability to run the football. It's the fact that Saquon is a factor on every down he is out there. You know, he does. I mean, this guy is outstanding without the ball.
I think that's a factor in his health as well, because if he was doing something for the Giants, he had to do it on his own, or, you know, if he's getting beat up behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, it's much different getting tackled 6, 7, 8 yards down the line with a little bit of momentum than it is trying to juke 4 guys behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I got sick and tired of watching a Giants game and watching him try to somehow have to get yardage all by himself. You know, that part was... I mean, after a while, I'd be sitting there going, you got to be kidding me. I mean, come on. And now you watch him, and he's got holes, he's got openings, he's not touched until he's 5 or 6 yards down the field. I mean, and now
he looks like the guy in the open field that he looked like at Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's what you need. I mean, that's what he needed. And that's the part where he was allowed to come into his own. Like, he was allowed to be himself. How about that? He was allowed to be Saquon Barkley that we all know with the Philadelphia Eagles because he had everything around him that allowed him to be. Conversely, the Eagles became a nearly unstoppable offense because now they have one of the really top 5 offensive threats in the league in the backfield. He made the pass game better. He made Hurts better. And believe me, he actually made at times that offensive line look better. It's great to have that. And like Ray Dittinger said, he said it's an off season where they expect to win. The fans expect to win. They all do. I mean, they legitimately are an outstanding team. In an era where we don't have a lot of outstanding teams, we have teams that win championships. But are they truly great? I mean, Oklahoma City won the NBA title. Do you consider them to be a great team?
Not yet. They're trending that way.
Yeah, but they're a champion that's really, really, really good. But are they great? No. Because you have a lot of champions like that. You have a lot of champions like that now that are really, really good, really good. They just aren't among the pantheon.